Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz, and this is my weekly NFL column called Black Quarterback. And I'm just here to give y'all my picks for this weekend's conference championship games. So, first off, we had the Denver Broncos hosting the New England Patriots. The Broncos won a 33-30 thrilling overtime game against the Buffalo Bills, but it was also a game where they unfortunately lost their quarterback, Bo Nix, to a weird, mysterious ankle injury. Um, for the New England Patriots, they won their game with their defense and a little bit of quarterback help, 28-16 over the Houston Texans. In this game against the Bills, the Broncos defense generated five turnovers, including a very controversial pick in overtime. Uh, Similar effort from the Patriots defense against the Texans. They also had five turnovers. Before those were interceptions in the first half, probably some of the most athletic interceptions you will ever see. There was also a pick six that a lot of people have been talking about just from the breakdown of the Texans offense on how it all came about. So yeah, both teams are really putting on a defensive performance in that game, and it looks to be the same thing for both of these units this weekend. The deep Broncos defense, they led the league in sacks this year. Patriots been a top 10 defense on both sides of the ball, so it looks like both of these guys are set up for another defensive battle, especially when the Broncos have a backup quarterback starting. Yeah, so in place of Bo Nix, it will be Jarrett Stidham. He's pretty much been a backup most of his career. Ironically, he started his career being drafted by the New England Patriots. Uh, but as far as like starting experience, it's not that much if you can even find it. You know what I'm saying? That's no disrespect to him. That's just what it is. Um, for the New England Patriots, they do have a more consistent situation at the quarterback position. Drake May, his second year as the starting QB for this New England Patriots, but in these last two games, he's been pretty much a turnover-prone quarterback. I believe against the Chargers, he had 3 sacks. I mean, excuse me, 3 turnovers, and against the Texans, he had 2 turnovers in this game. Still, the fact that he's pretty much the reason that the Patriots have gotten to this point, or at the very least in the playoffs, I'm gonna have to go with the Patriots to win this game. Um, the turnovers should not be ignored. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be a key factor for the Broncos defense to keep them in the game because it's just Bo Nix that's hurt. They still have RJ Harvey or Franklin or whatever. They still have a running game. Still have a running game going. They still have wide receivers, Cortland Sutton on, what I'm saying, on the outside. Um, so yeah, they still have a great. Broncos still have like a great team put together. Um, Nick Benito, he's over there. Hugh Funga, the safety that came over from San Francisco. That guy knocks some people out, man. He's definitely going to be bringing the leather in this game as well for the Broncos defense, and they're going to need all that to have a chance against these New England Patriots. But I think that with New England having the better quarterback situation at this time, they're going to actually pull off this win. So I'm going to go ahead and get this game to the New England Patriots. Next up, I have the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Los Angeles Rams. So for the Seahawks, in their game against the 49ers, they were dominating from start to finish. Rasheed said he opened up the game. Um, he opened up the game with a 97-yard kick return, and so they pretty much just held the 49ers to only 6 points in that game. Rams thrilling overtime win against the comeback threat known as the Chicago Bears. And so for the Seahawks, their offense and defense had big plays. Ernest Jones, I think he had like forced a fumble, recovered a fumble in that first quarter. Offensively, the usual suspects. JSN, he had a touchdown in this game. Cooper Kupp, he had a huge opening quarter in this game as well. quiet night a little bit for Sam Darnold, but he was just throwing the ball around and was able to like kind of take off a little bit early, but um, offensively, defensively, they were just all on point. Leonard Williams, Demarcus Lawrence, both of those guys providing a decent pass rush on that 49ers offense. Um, as far as the Rams go, their defense stepped up in crucial moments. Kobe Turner, Justin Durant, both getting interceptions at different parts of the game. I believe Durant actually got the interception um, when it was him or Turner that got the interception that stopped the Bears in overtime from their impending drive. So that defense was just really going crazy out there. Um, just really terrorizing the Bears as much as they can and just really trying to hold off that comeback win. Both these teams, obviously division rivals, so they have quite the history. Seahawks, they won the last matchup in comeback fashion. If you remember, that was the overtime game on Thursday Night Football where they were down by like two touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and it was just a crazy, sequence of events. One where Zach Charbonnet actually had picked up a backwards pass because everybody thought it was incomplete, but it wasn't. It was a backwards pass, so counted as a fumble, and he ran it in for the 2 point conversion. So that was just one of the many plays that was actually happening for those guys. Early in the year, it was the Rams that won the season opener in a tight matchup. I think they won that 17-13. Um, Against that Seahawks team. So it's been a pretty contested feud between these two this season. However, I'm gonna have to go with the Rams to win this game. And so for me, the Rams they've had a rough finish to their season, to their regular season. That was including the loss to the Seahawks. I think in one of those games they did lose to the Falcons, and so head coach Sean McVay, Rams head coach Sean McVay, he was pretty much like, nah, we got to get this straight, and that was part of the reason they were actually playing in the Arizona game. I think the starters played the whole uh, regular season finale against the Cardinals. I don't think he rested any of them, so um, he was pretty much like, "Nah, we need to get y'all ready," and it seems to have paid off. They beat the Panthers, and that Panthers game was like one of those games where like they were kind of slipping a little bit. They did beat the Chicago Bears, and the Bears have been super impressive, not just against weak teams, but against some of the more playoff teams, and doing that they were been doing that in comeback fashion. Um, the Rams seem to be the only team where they couldn't get that off on. Uh, so yeah, the Rams really kind of met the challenge of beating the Chicago Bears in Chicago, mind you, and they really, stepped up to it. Um, I just feel like right now the Rams they've been through the playoff battles, so anything that can go wrong, I feel like they'll be prepared for it. And Seattle is a team that is definitely going to make something go wrong for your team. They're good on both. They're great on both sides of the ball, offense, defense. Seattle has all the weapons you could possibly want and need. I think that is the same for the Los Angeles Rams. They have a good running back in Kyron Turner, but Blake Corum is also trying to come along as like that second back, that spell back for Turner or Kyron Williams. He's Blake Corum is trying to come along as that backup for Williams to really spell him and to provide that 1-2 punch in these playoffs. And so I think they're able to, I think the Rams are just able to like be prepared for any type of element or issue. So they're built, as I mentioned, they're built to run the football. They can run it out of a bunch of formations. They also use that three tight end formation that seems to be all the craze of the analysts. Um, so I think that going into Seattle on the road, Seattle's not the sunniest of places to begin with. So going on the road in January, there's no telling what type of weather you're going to get with this team. But the Rams are, very much prepared for it. They're very much prepared to run the ball. If it's a little bit all right, you know what I'm saying? They're pretty much prepared to throw the football as well. Obviously, with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, um, Kobe Parkinson, he's been making some big plays. They're tight end. Um, Higby, he's been out there, you know what I'm saying, some getting some plays in as well. So is Whittington. It's just a really um, it's just a really good offensive Rams team. And Matthew Stafford, of course, he's favored to be like the MVP at this point in time. It's pretty much his award to lose. So I definitely think the Rams are just more prepared to take on the Seattle team. As dominating as Seattle was in the divisional round, I think the Rams are prepared to meet that challenge, possibly exceed that challenge, and beat the Seattle team. So, that's all I got for y'all this week. If you're watching this on Facebook, facebook.com/BrandonBlog, like my page, um, share this video to your news feed, like this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button, click this like button, share this video wherever you may share it. So, I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.